Hi everybody, it's Emily here at Thrive Wellness Center, and I just wanted to come talk to you guys a little bit today about gallbladder health, what it does, what can harm the gallbladder, and some things that can help support it. So first we'll start off by kind of breaking down the word gallbladder. So gall is meaning, it stands for bile, and bladder standing for small sac. So the gallbladder is actually only about the size of an adult thumb, so it's not very big, and it does reside on the right side of our body, right below our rib cage in that area. So if you've ever experienced gallbladder pain or an attack or anything along those lines, that is where you'll feel that pain in that vicinity. So the gallbladder is in charge of quite a few different things, and it has a lot of importance to it. First of all, it works with the liver to detoxify the body, boost the immune system, and the biggest one is that it works to break down healthy fats for our body to absorb and to utilize. So it's really important that we keep this organ. The medical field has made it a very common procedure, especially in America, that we can just get rid of them. No big deal. Not true, not true. Please keep your gallbladders. They do so many different things, are in charge of a lot, and a lot of deficit can happen when they are removed. So we'll get into what bile is, okay? So bile, you can think of it as a digestive juice. Bile's produced in the liver, and then it transfers through the bile ducts to the gallbladder. So once it's in the gallbladder, it does what we call, it emulsifies fats, so it breaks them down. You can think of it, a good analogy is like your bile is what dish soap is to grease on dishes or anything like that. It breaks the grease down. So what bile does is it breaks down fat for our bodies to absorb things like fat-soluble vitamins and our essential fatty acids. So fat-soluble vitamins are vitamins A, K, D, and E. What that means is that they can only be utilized and absorbed if there are enough healthy essential fatty fats present. So what you want to do is make sure you're getting in enough healthy fat. Even if your gallbladder is under stress, number one, it's probably under stress from bad fats. So you still want to make sure you're getting those good ones in. And I would just take it at a gradient pace. Okay, let me make sure I got all of that stuff there. Perfect. So if your gallbladder is removed, what happens is your liver still produces the bile. There is just nowhere for this bile to go. So our body has a much less easy time breaking these essential fatty acids down and utilizing them. So a lot can go wrong, like things like acid reflux, nausea. When you're not absorbing nutrients, literally XYZ can go wrong. So when you don't have a gallbladder, you're not absorbing those nutrients, it's not an ideal situation at all. So, like I said, the gallbladder helps regulate the pH of the intestines too. So that's that like acid reflux. We associate reflux or indigestion with our stomach a lot, which is very much so can be the issue. But the gallbladder also plays a role in that too by regulating the pH of the stomach, because acid reflux is not an issue that you're too acidic. It's an issue that you're not acidic enough, and more than likely you're covering it up with something like Tums or Pepcid or any sort of heartburn medication, which is just putting a band-aid on it, and you want to actually have a high acidic pH in your stomach for the food to break down, absorb, and digest. Along those lines, good bacteria thrive in a great acidic environment in our stomachs, and the bad bacteria thrive when our pH is not high enough. So that's when you run into chronic stomach conditions or things like ulcers, food poisoning, all that kinds of stuff. Not good things. All right. And then it also participates, our gallbladder participates in working with the liver to detoxify our body. So it works on purifying things, getting toxins out. And again, that has to do with the breaking down of the food that you're eating so that it can utilize those things to detoxify the body. So all an absorption thing here. It's so important that your gallbladder is functioning optimum. Also what it does is it regulates our blood sugar. So as we break down fats, those healthy fats are used to regulate blood sugar so that it doesn't have sudden spikes. So that's why we do encourage such a healthy, high fat, high protein diet in here, because what that does is it keeps things very even keel. Fats are really crucial in hormone balance too. So having your gallbladder and keeping keeping it healthy is important for hormone balance and producing hormones. Our hormones are processed through our liver, so our gallbladder works right in conjunction with that. So coming from a hormonal aspect, your gallbladder is an important organ as well in that vicinity of things. All right, and then let's talk a little bit about gallstones. So gallstones are a pretty common thing we see in the office along with gallbladder inflammation. Gallstones, actually, more of us have them than we know. We just go without symptoms. So a lot of people who have gallstones or have gallbladder attacks, what a gallbladder attack essentially is you have consumed X amount of either, whether it's sugar or heavily processed fat, and what happens is your bile becomes sluggish and thick. That sluggish and thickness gunks up those bile ducts, and if you have a stone that's in there that tries to pass, it gets stuck and it causes the gallbladder attack. So what the stone is made from is it's crystallized unhealthy cholesterol. So again, bad fat being consumed. So it kind of reels you back all the way to diet, which you all know how much we emphasis that is exactly what you need to do or use to get your organs functioning at optimum. So what that is, cholesterol builds up, causes the gallstones, then a continuous bad diet after the gallstones have formed, increase that bile sluggishness, which do not let the stones pass. So then you get that pain or that gallbladder attack. All right, let's see here. What is next about gallstones? So what causes them, like I said, is mostly diet. We see that's the root cause, just a deprivation of nutrients throughout the years, kind of beating ourselves up, eating commercialized fats. So when you go out to a restaurant, eating things that are deep fried and all of that, all of those oils that things are fried in are not good oils for you. You may feel an attack be induced by those types of things. So paying attention to the quality of fat that you're consuming is really important. And then also on top of that, you really want to reduce your sugar. I know, crazy that we say that here. But anyway, you want to make sure you're bringing your sugar down, because sugar is going to cause inflammation. It's going to cause any sort of inflammatory disease. Like you can have gallbladder issues from sugar. You can have brain issues from sugar, all the things from sugar. So reducing that is really important as well. And then along the lines of that, what can cause gallbladder issues are things like medications. Medications are going to mess with hormones. They're going to do a lot of bad things. So avoiding those as much as you can is going to help keep your gallbladder a happy little gallbladder. A big one around here that I see huge amount of issues with gallstones particularly, are parasites. So parasites are nasty little things, but and we all have them, but what they do is they just cause more stress on the gallbladder, especially within the bile ducts. Is a really easy place for them to hide so that they can, keep wreaking havoc without your body actually getting rid of them. What happens when that goes on is things like bile can't be produced and transferred like it needs to be. So, go back to what bile does. It breaks down the fat. Well, if that's not happening, then you're not absorbing nutrients. You're not getting what you need. So getting rid of the parasites is a huge thing. If you've seen us post about this line at all, there's a line that we carry called Cellcore. An advanced TUDCA is a really great product to help get that bile moving and to help clear anything that is in those bile ducts, including bugs. All right, and then soy-based food is another one, because what soy-based food does is it does mess with your estrogen levels. And so, again, reiterating that the gallbladder, liver have to do with hormone balance. So you want to avoid those foods that do mess with hormone levels, including soy-based foods. All right, beautiful. Now I'll kind of talk about, the good stuff that you can do to help out your gallbladder. So a big thing that we encourage when you are having gallbladder issues are beets and beet leaves, especially too. So I know we have a huge tendency to just eat the beet part of the plant, but the beet leaves are also really beneficial. A couple of our supplements that I use and Dr. Shannon and Bree use pretty heavily with gallbladder issues are things called AF beta food and beta food. And what that essentially is beet and beet leaf juice. So utilizing those, both parts of the plant, are really phenomenal for gallbladder health and boosting the gallbladder. What it does is it's high in iron and it increases liver enzymes. It's also high in zinc and copper levels, so it is protecting the cells as well. All right, and then another thing that you could do is use bile salts. If you do have your gallbladder already removed, the good news is that there still is nerve function there that is important to make sure is regulated as well. So coming in, getting checked, and making sure that those nerves are working the way they're supposed to is important. If you don't have a gallbladder, bile salts are going to be huge for you. Our favorite product, hands down, to utilize those is called Cholecol. So anytime a patient comes in and they don't have a gallbladder, Cholecol is my go-to, because what it does is it's very specific bile salts, and it helps those nerves in that area, because when an organ's removed, the nerves still stay there. They don't take the nerves as well, so it helps those nerves function the way that they need to, and it also helps with that bile production, with the bile having nowhere to go. All right, and then another thing you can do, eat your vegetables, lots of minerals, keeping things going that way, lots of vitamins, and then upping your vitamin C in general. So things like a vitamin C supplement, or vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, red bell peppers, some fruits like cantaloupe or papaya. Papaya has natural enzymes in it, so those are all really great things as well. All right, beautiful. Oh, little success story about a gallbladder. So I have a patient who got her gallbladder out when she was probably in her young 20s. And then she's now in her older 20s right now. And she had abdominal pain for the past 5 years that she has had her gallbladder removed. What that is essentially is, your body, it's a crucial organ. It's very important to keep your gallbladder if you can, so please do. But her body was just not functioning at optimum at all. So she came in and she was on her program for 2 weeks, and her gallbladder or abdominal pain that happened every day reduced to maybe once a week, and it was minute compared to what it was. And that was just based off of fixing up the diet within a couple of weeks, and then also getting her on that Cholecol supplement. So those things in combination help take that abdominal pain away. So if you're having that pain, if you don't have a gallbladder, if you have a gallbladder, there are things that can be done about it, and there are things that we do here in the office to help with those things. All right, wonderful, everyone. I hope you enjoyed a few little gallbladder facts. And if you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.